Got nothing, fellas. What the heck, huh? Plug's totally dry, like there's no fuel getting in it. It had one little pop before. I think that I got some bad gas here. I'm seeing it in the fuel line and it's all murky looking, like there's rust dust in it. I think I'm going to end up draining my fuel here and putting some new gas in it. Testing spark here too. Yeah, that's some nasty gas, man. That's got to be the problem. You'd think it would have a hit with the ether. I can't really see the spark tester very well. Needs a little more throttle. Yeah, there's spark. What the heck? Not even a pop or nothing. Why are you being a jerk? I think we got no spark. Zilch, zilch, zilch. Yeah, I got no spark again. I don't know what's going on here. I don't really like these plug wires. They're really loose. I don't think that's helping matters. Well, I took the points cover off and I got oil on my points, which is really weird. The only thing I can think of is that maybe it's getting around this plunger here, or maybe they were just dirty because I never really cleaned out the points. I just, the engine ran before and I put it together. But if there's a bad seal around this points plunger, I guess theoretically oil could get out of the engine and come into the points, but it's all wet, full of oil right on the points. So I'm going to spray them off with some electrical contact cleaner and see if that makes us have some spark, because it clearly had spark before and it had one little pop tonight at first and then it died, so it doesn't make sense to me. Alright, I just sprayed it out with some cleaner and blew some compressed air in there. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, we got some spark. It's not the best thing, but we got some. So let's see if we can get it to run now. Come on, you piece of junk. close. Well, I figured I'd compression test this thing. And this cylinder here on the right side has, you know, somewhere like 110 pounds or something like that. So we'll go over and we'll check the other side out, see what that's got. Well, the other side only has 90 pounds of compression, but it should be enough for it to work. I don't see why not. Yeah, so this thing's just being a pain in the butt. You know, I guess the only other thing that could be wrong would be the timing, but I highly doubt that I would have misaligned the timing marks on the cam gear. It's the only thing in the whole engine that times it is that, and I was really careful putting it together, so if I can't get it to sputter again or anything, I guess I'm going to have to pull my flywheel here and pull my timing cover. I don't know what else to do, you know. If I could mark the thing top dead center or something, I could put a timing light on it and see when it's actually firing, but I really don't think that's the problem. I really don't. So, you know, it's not a big deal to take this timing cover off. You just drop the flywheel and there's maybe 5 or 6 bolts that hold it on, and I could double check the timing. I would probably have to drain a little oil out to do that. But anyways, frustrating. Well, I got the timing cover and the flywheel off to check the timing gear here, and it looks like everything is right where it should be. You can see that there's a timing mark there, and they both line up perfect. So I don't know why the heck this thing won't run. It's really got me flabbergasted here. It's got spark, the timing's right. You know, it's really got me irritated big time. So I think my next step here is to completely drain the fuel tank and put new gas in it and see if maybe that makes the difference. And I also noticed that my seal on the crankshaft was leaking a little bit, so there was oil dripping out right around the crank here. It's all wet, it's all full of oil, and that shouldn't be. It's a brand new seal. What the heck, huh? So anyways, maybe I'll make sure the seal goes on properly when I put it back in, and we'll go from there. Well, I'm trying this freaking thing again. I set up an auxiliary gas tank over here that just gravity feeds, and I know there's no old gas in the thing. I know that I got spark. I know my timing's right. I know I have compression. I don't know why it won't start. We'll give it one more try, and then we had one little putt. Let me pull the plugs and see what they look like. I see tons of gas pouring into the carb. Let's see what the plugs look like. Well, both plugs are dry as a bone. There's not a drop of gas on them. I think what I'm going to do next is take that carburetor apart and replace the float valve. I have 2 float valves here. I just never bothered to replace them because I thought this carb was good. And it was running at one point in time on this machine, and I don't recall having any issues with it, but we're going to replace it anyways.